Most men miss these signs she's attracted to you but is scared to admit it. You ever wonder if she's into you but she's doing everything in her power not to say it out loud? The truth is, attraction often shows up in hidden ways, especially when someone's afraid of being too obvious. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the signals most men completely overlook, the subtle moves that reveal she wants you, even if she won't admit it. And trust me, the final sign will completely flip how you see women's behavior from now on. Welcome. If you're new here, this is where men level up daily in dating. Like this video, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more. 20. The pause before goodbye. When she's about to leave, maybe the conversation's winding down, or you're both walking away, notice if there's a tiny pause. That moment when her feet hesitate, her voice lingers on the last word, or she looks like she's waiting for something. It's not accidental. It's hesitation born out of not wanting the interaction to end. Most men miss it because they're in a rush to say goodbye politely. But think about it. If she was eager to go, she'd just turn and leave. That pause? That's a quiet tug, almost like her body's betraying the secret she's trying to hide. And here's the kicker. That pause usually feels longer to her than to you, which means she's fully aware she's stalling. But what comes next goes even deeper. 19. The disguised compliment. She'll give you a compliment, but it's wrapped in something casual, almost like she's trying not to reveal too much. Instead of, "You look amazing," it's, "That shirt's not bad on you." Instead of, "You're funny," it's, "You're so ridiculous," but in a good way. Why does this matter? Because real attraction makes her want to express approval, but fear of rejection makes her water it down. It's praise with a playful mask. Most men hear the joke and miss the approval hidden underneath. And if you think that's subtle, the next sign is even quieter. It's in what she doesn't say. 18. The unasked question. Ever notice when she starts a story and leaves it dangling? Like, "I've been thinking about trying something new lately," and then she trails off. That's not an accident. She's waiting to see if you'll lean in, if you'll dig deeper. When attraction is there but she's not ready to admit it, her curiosity shows up as unfinished sentences. It's her way of creating space for you to show interest without her directly asking for it. And here's the thing. If you catch it, you suddenly see how many openings she's been leaving. But there's another layer, not in her words, but in how she controls her own body language. 17. The sudden composure reset. Watch this. She's relaxed, animated, moving naturally, and then suddenly, when she realizes you're paying close attention, she adjusts, straightens her posture, smooths her hair, folds her hands neatly. It's almost like hitting a reset button. Why does she do it? Because attraction makes her hyper-aware of how she's coming across. She wants to look controlled, almost professional, as if she wasn't just leaning in too close a moment ago. Most men take that composure as disinterest, but it's actually the opposite. It's a cover-up for the warmth that slipped out. And if that's not revealing enough, wait until you notice what she does with her timing. 16. The out-of-sync agreement. You make a point, tell a story, or share an opinion. She agrees with you, but it's just a beat too late. Like she waited half a second, as if double-checking if it was safe to align with you. That slight delay is telling. If she didn't care, she'd respond instantly, or not at all. But that pause before agreement shows her mind running two tracks. "I want to connect," versus, "Don't make it too obvious." And here's where it gets interesting. The longer the delay, the stronger the inner tug of war, which means the attraction is there, but she's fighting it. The next sign? It's something most men misread completely. 15. The playful rejection. You suggest something lighthearted, maybe grabbing coffee or trying out a new spot, and she laughs, pretends to shoot it down, or calls you crazy for suggesting it. On the surface, it looks like rejection, but the smile, the spark in her tone, the way she circles back to it later, that's not dismissal. That's testing. Why? Because outright acceptance feels risky, but a playful no gives her cover. If you don't push further, she can save face. If you do, and you catch the humor in it, you just passed her hidden filter. And once you see that, the next sign becomes even clearer, because it shows up when she's not even speaking. 14. The stillness when you're close. Everyone talks about fidgeting as a sign of nerves, but what about the opposite? When she suddenly becomes still, you move closer, and her hands stop tapping, her shoulders lock in, her breath evens out. That stillness is her body adjusting to the gravity of the moment. It's her nervous system going, "Pay attention, he's here." And the wild part? She might look calm on the outside, but inside, her heart rate is usually soaring. Most men misinterpret this as disinterest, when really it's the quiet signal of attraction wrapped in self-control. And if you think that's subtle, wait until you catch the sign she gives through timing your attention. 13. The delayed response to your message. You text her. She sees it, but instead of replying right away, she waits. Not because she's not interested, but because she's interested too much. The delay is strategic. It's her way of managing the tension, trying not to look eager. Here's what most men don't realize. If she truly didn't care, the reply would be careless or non-existent. But when there's hesitation, that's the dance of someone trying to control how much interest leaks through. And here's the twist. If her reply feels crafted, like she put thought into it, that's the hidden giveaway she's invested. But messages are one thing. In person, there's an even bigger tell. 12. The invisible orbit. Notice if she keeps reappearing near you, even when there's no clear reason. Maybe she drifts into the same group conversation, ends up at the same end of the table, or just seems to hover close enough to catch your attention. It's rarely conscious. Attraction pulls her into your orbit, but fear keeps her from directly planting herself beside you. So she circles. Not too close, not too far, just enough to stay in your atmosphere. It's one of the easiest signs to miss, because she'll never announce it, but once you spot it, you'll see the pattern everywhere. And yet, there's another layer, one hidden in how she handles eye contact. 11. The glance with a quick escape. Here's one of the trickiest signals. She looks at you, but the second your eyes meet, she snaps hers away. It's not avoidance, it's exposure. That split-second flash before she looks down or to the side is her inner world showing for just a moment. Most men assume she's uninterested because she broke eye contact. But think about it. If she wanted nothing to do with you, she wouldn't have looked in the first place. That quick escape is her way of managing vulnerability, giving you a glimpse, then pulling back before it feels too raw. And if you think that's powerful, wait until you hear the next one, because it reveals attraction even when she's acting like you don't matter at all. 10. The selective silence. You're in a group, conversations flowing, everyone's chiming in, and suddenly, she goes quiet. Not checked out, not distracted, just quiet. But only when you're speaking. That silence isn't absence, it's focus. She doesn't want to blurt something that reveals too much, so she holds back, letting her attention do the talking. And here's what most men miss. The silence feels louder than words. It's her way of showing, what you're saying matters to me, without risking the vulnerability of saying it outright. And if you notice her doing this more than once, brace yourself, because the next sign flips the script entirely. 9. The exaggerated indifference. She'll act like she doesn't notice you. Maybe she avoids direct acknowledgement, scrolls on her phone, or shrugs when you make a joke. On the surface, it looks like she's brushing you off, but underneath, it's often attraction she's trying desperately to mask. Why? Because attention feels like exposure. If she acts indifferent, she can protect herself from being too obvious. But here's the giveaway. The indifference usually cracks. She'll laugh when she didn't mean to, she'll remember details she pretended not to hear, or she'll circle back to something you said. That's the slip. That's the proof. And if you think exaggerated indifference is sneaky, the next one hides in something even more ordinary. 8. The repeat of your phrasing. Pay attention when she echoes your words. Not just agreeing, literally repeating a phrase you used, sometimes even days later. You say, "That was brutal." And later she's telling her story with the same brutal. Why does it matter? Because echoing is subconscious alignment. She's tuning herself to your rhythm, your language, your world. And most of the time, she doesn't even realize she's doing it. That kind of mirroring isn't random. It's attraction trying to sync without shouting. And yet, if you think that's subtle, the next sign takes it one level deeper, into her emotions. 7. The misplaced irritation. Ever notice she gets a little sharp with you out of nowhere? Maybe teasing harder than usual, maybe rolling her eyes, maybe acting impatient. Most men take it at face value and back off. But here's the truth. Misplaced irritation is often a mask for attraction. Why? Because attraction stirs tension, and tension leaks out. If she's afraid of showing softness, she might show the opposite, a spark of annoyance. But if the irritation is followed by her seeking your attention again, that's the giveaway. She doesn't actually want distance. She wants connection. She just doesn't want to admit it. And once you recognize that, the next sign becomes crystal clear. 6. The sudden generosity. When she's around you, she goes out of her way to give small things, offering you a sip of her drink, saving you a seat, sharing a random snack. On the surface, they're tiny gestures, but underneath, it's her attraction slipping through action. Generosity costs her nothing, but it lets her show investment without saying, "I like you." And the fascinating part? She often frames it casually, like it's no big deal. But the consistency of those little gifts, that's where the truth lives. And yet, her generosity is just the surface layer. The next sign reveals itself in her timing. 5. The delayed exit. The event's winding down, the group's splitting, people are leaving, and she lingers. Not enough to make it obvious, but just enough that her presence stretches longer than necessary. It's subtle, almost invisible if you're not looking for it, But when someone stays just a little too long, it's usually not about the event. It's about the person they don't want to leave behind. Most men assume she's just slow to move. But think about it. When we're done, we're done. Lingering is never random. It's attachment dressed up as indecision. And if you think that's powerful, the next sign gets even more personal. It shows up when she's trying to control her own reactions. 4. The accidental reveal in her laugh. Her laugh tells more than her words ever will. Notice when she laughs harder with you than with others, even when the joke isn't that funny. Or when she laughs too quickly, like she's eager to show she's engaged. That's attraction in disguise. Laughter lowers defenses, and for someone trying to hide their feelings, it's often the one place they lose control. You'll hear it in the pitch, see it in the way she hides her smile after. It's not just amusement, it's release. And when her laugh is different with you, that's the unspoken confession. But if her laugh is revealing, the next sign is even more, because it shows up in how she rewrites the past. 3. The revision of her stories. She tells a story once, maybe in a group. Later, when it's just the two of you, she retells it, but with more detail, more vulnerability, or a version that casts her in a different light. Why retell the same story? Because the first one was a performance. The second one is intimacy. It's her way of letting you into her world, carefully, selectively, and she won't do it with just anyone. Most men shrug it off as chatter, but retelling isn't chatter. It's curated connection. And once you notice it, you'll realize just how much thought she's putting into what she shows you. And yet, that's nothing compared to the next sign, the one that shows up when she's trying hardest not to show anything at all. 2. The covered slip. She let something slip. Maybe she admits she thought about you, or mentions she noticed what you were wearing, or recalls something you said. Then immediately she covers it, changes the subject, laughs it off, or says, "Oh, I didn't mean it like that." That cover is the real tell. If she truly didn't care, there'd be nothing to hide. The moment she scrambles to retract, that's her attraction showing through the cracks. It's the push-pull of wanting you to know but being scared of what happens if you do. And most men miss it, because they believe the cover more than the slip. But now we're here. The final sign, the one that, once you see it, changes how you understand women forever. 1. The memory she shouldn't have. Here's the most powerful signal of all. She remembers things you barely recall saying. Tiny throwaway comments, details you didn't emphasize, moments you didn't think twice about. She recalls them not because she made an effort to memorize, but because attraction stamps those moments into her memory. Her mind replays them without her trying. That's why she can mention what color you wore last week, or the way you pronounced a word in a story, or how you take your coffee. It's not logical. It's emotional imprinting. And when someone remembers the little things you never thought mattered, it's because, to them, you mattered. Even if they'll never say it outright. Up next, discover the compliments she gives when she wants sex, or learn how to tell if she's flirting. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more.